Did you know China is not just thinking about the moon? They're actually planning to live there. That's right. China, along with Russia, is building something called the International Lunar Research Station, or ILRS for short. This is not just a small research camp either. It's going to be a full-on base where people can live, work, and maybe even stay for months at a time. The goal? To have a working base by around 2035, and by 2050, they want it to be busy with researchers and scientists doing experiments. It's like the International Space Station, but way cooler because it's on the moon. And guess what? China isn't planning to do this alone. They're inviting other countries to join too. Space is getting a lot more crowded and a lot more interesting. This moon base isn't just about showing off. China wants to use it as a serious research hub, studying how people can live in space, learning how to use the moon's resources, and even testing new tech for future missions to Mars. It's all part of the plan. Think of it like setting up a giant science lab where Earth's rules don't apply. Why build a moon base? You might wonder, why the moon? Well, the moon is like a perfect stepping stone for bigger space dreams. It's close, only about 3 days away, and it has a lot of interesting stuff we can use, like frozen water and special minerals. China's scientists are super excited to study things like the moon's geology, topography, and even the weird effects of living in low gravity. Another cool reason? The moon is a fantastic place for experiments you can't do on Earth. Imagine growing plants in moon dirt, or testing new energy systems without Earth's atmosphere messing things up. Even physics experiments behave differently on the moon because of the low gravity. It's like one giant natural science playground. And let's not forget about the bigger dream, Mars. Living on the moon will teach humans how to survive away from Earth for a long time. It's a place to practice building habitats, finding water, growing food, and making fuel, all the things we'll need to eventually colonize Mars. So in a way, the moon base is like a dress rehearsal for becoming a multi-planet species. How will the base be built? Now, building a base on the moon isn't as easy as sending up a few tents. First of all, it's crazy expensive to ship stuff from Earth. That's why China wants to build the base using what's already on the moon, mainly moon dust. Scientists call this in situ resource utilization, or ISRU. It's a fancy way of saying, use what you've got. In 2024, China ran some tests on making bricks out of lunar soil. And guess what? It worked. They found ways to turn moon dirt into hard building materials, kind of like Lego blocks. Robots and 3D printers are expected to do most of the heavy lifting. Imagine little robotic workers buzzing around, stacking moon bricks, and putting up futuristic buildings. The design they're looking at is pretty wild too. Egg-shaped igloos. These dome structures are perfect because they're strong, insulated, and super good at handling the moon's extreme temperatures and radiation. Plus, they just look awesome, like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. So, don't expect boring square buildings on the moon anytime soon. How will the base be powered? Okay, so you've got a base on the moon. Now you need power. But the moon isn't exactly plug and play. Nighttime on the moon lasts 14 Earth days. That's 2 whole weeks without sunlight. Solar panels are great during the day, but they won't cut it for round-the-clock energy. So, China and Russia are planning something bold, a nuclear power plant on the moon. Yep, you heard that right. By 2035, China and Russia want to have a nuclear reactor up there, providing steady, reliable energy no matter if it's day or night. This mini-reactor will power everything: life support systems, communication networks, research equipment, and even the robots building the base. It's like giving the moon base its own little heart. Nuclear energy might sound scary, but experts say it's actually the safest and smartest option. It's super compact and can produce tons of energy without needing constant supplies. Plus, using nuclear power on the moon is a huge stepping stone for using it later on Mars and even deeper into space. It's a game changer. Who else is involved? China's not building their moon dreams alone. They're teaming up with Russia for a lot of the heavy science and engineering work. But it's not just the big players. China has also invited tons of other countries to join the ILRS project. Nations like Pakistan, Venezuela, South Africa, Belarus, and Azerbaijan have already signed up. The goal is to get about 50 countries involved, with around 500 research institutions and 5,000 researchers working together. It's like building an international village on the moon. China is making it clear. They want this to be a global project, not just a Chinese one. They're even offering help with technology, research sharing, and future moon missions. This is a big deal because while the US leads the Artemis program with its own moon plans, China is creating a whole second team. It's a new space race, not about who gets there first, but who builds the best new world in space. The 2030s are going to be one of the most exciting decades for space exploration yet. What missions are leading up to the base? China's not jumping into this blind. They've been seriously preparing with a whole series of moon missions. In 2024, their Chang'e 6 mission made history by bringing back the first ever samples from the moon's far side. That's the side that always faces away from Earth, a place no one had ever gotten rocks from before. Next up is Chang'e 7, launching in 2026. This mission will search for water ice and explore caves and craters near the moon's south pole, prime real estate for the future base. Water ice is super important because it can be turned into drinking water, oxygen, and even rocket fuel. Finding it would be a huge win. After that, Chang'e 8, set for 2028, will test out construction tech, resource extraction, and maybe even plant some early infrastructure for the ILRS. It's like setting up the first building blocks before the full base construction begins. Every mission is carefully planned, and every mission brings China one giant leap closer to living on the moon. When will humans land? So when will we actually see Chinese astronauts walking on the moon? Well, if everything goes according to plan, China wants to land its first crew on the lunar surface by 2030. That would make them only the second country after the US to ever put humans on the moon. And yes, they're working hard to make it happen. They're developing a brand new spacecraft called the Chang'e, which means dream vessel, and a huge new rocket called the Long March 10. These will carry astronauts, equipment, and supplies to the moon. They're even designing fancy new moon suits so their taikonauts, that's what Chinese astronauts are called, can explore safely. Landing humans on the moon is a huge step, but it's only the beginning. Once they're there, the goal is to start preparing the ground for the ILRS, testing equipment and building the first parts of the base. We're talking about setting up humanity's first real foothold beyond Earth, and China's ready to lead the way. China's moon base plan isn't science fiction anymore. It's happening, and it's happening fast, with strong partnerships, smart planning, and a little bit of international teamwork. The ILRS could change everything we know about space exploration. It's like watching history being written in real time. In the next 10 to 20 years, the moon could go from being a distant, silent rock in the sky to a busy hub full of scientists, robots, and explorers. Maybe one day your kids, or even you, could visit, work, or even live there. The future is way closer than you think, so keep your eyes on the skies. Because the next giant leap for humanity isn't coming. It's already on the launch pad.